This is Graham from Doteasy, customer care. We're coming to you with another one of our videos, and hey, it's December finally. It's almost time for Christmas, Hanukkah, any other you celebrate. We wish you, of course, season's greetings and everything. And we are going to be showing you a couple fun things to do with the site. Now, a lot of people like to try and make their site a little more festive. Some people switch to having some images. Some people try and get some fun little flash animations or something going. We're going to be showing you a couple little fun things you can be doing for any of the websites, really. We're going to be showing you it in what's a language called JavaScript, which is pretty convenient because it runs on any kind of device, whether it's a computer, whether it's a tablet like the Surface, whether it's a phone. Pretty much just about everything supports JavaScript, so as well as it's a well-written script, it's going to work on anything, which is great. Now what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be putting up the Christmas lights, and not just in the traditional sense, of course, around the house. We're actually going to show you how to add them to the site. And I mean, there are other things you can do, of course. The one we're actually going to be showing you a demo from is just a fun little neat trick we found. It's actually a script that someone else has written. And we're going to be showing you just an example of kind of what you can do on the site, how easy it is to find a script online and add it to your page. This one happens to have snowing as well. We're not going to show you the snowing one just because it's actually easier to set up than the one we're going to be doing. So we want to give you a nice feel of how to set up kind of any script you're going to need to, what you're going to be looking for, and things like that. So it is quite simple to set up. Again, the one we're setting up is within JavaScript. So anyone at all, any of our subscribers, whether you're on our basic hosting package or whether you're on one of our higher packages, easy enough to set this up. For those of you who are on unlimited or ultra hosting or using WordPress, we're actually going to be showing you later on a WordPress version that's using some plugins that can kind of set up the same thing. Now, the one script we've got here, we're actually already got the demo page open here for his site. It's actually shillmania.com, and he's actually sets up various different scripts. The one here we're looking for is namely lights for the Christmas lights, like we said. He's also got a snowing animation. So there's a couple things you're going to need to set up and have ready beforehand. One of them is you're going to need to have some kind of FTP program. If you're on Windows and you don't have one, we'd suggest getting FileZilla. Very easy to use, very well respected. It's free, which is probably the key thing to it. As well as if you're using Mac, you may want to use CyberDuck, which is again very well known, very well used, easy to use, and again free. So you can't really go wrong with either of those two. If you have your own FTP program, by all means use it. You don't have to use one of the ones we've suggested. Because we're in a Windows environment here, we're actually going to be running on FileZilla, just to kind of show you what it is, so you've got a nice keen example of what to go with. Now for this one here, besides the FTP program to get those files from your computer onto the site and the server, you're also going to need some kind of website editor. We're actually going to be showing you how to do this without any website editor, just for a little more fun. Now this one's not going to be for everyone, of course, because it's not as pretty as a website editor is going to do it. It's not as simple, but we want to really show how easy it is for anyone just to step in there and do it, even if you don't have the tools or just downloading a quick couple free tools to do so. So we're actually going to be using WordPad, oddly enough. You can use Notepad, you can use anything. If you have Dreamweaver or any website editor like Microsoft Expressions, for Mac you may have iWeb. These are all very valid, nothing wrong with using them. You can use anything you want. Again, we're just trying to show you how simple it is and how easy it is to set up. So now that we've kind of gone through everything that we need before we set up here, the next thing you want to do is try and find some kind of script online. So for this here, you're typically going to be Googling something like JavaScript light or JavaScript snow animation, something like this. Just basically include the word JavaScript and then whatever type of thing you're looking for. That's really what you're going to be looking for. Again, we've actually already found one, as we're going to be showing you a screenshot of the actual site. So you can see the page, you can see the URL at the top, so you can definitely go ahead and check the site out as well. We do definitely want to give credit to the person who created this, of course, because he did take the time to do it. And as he says here, you can even go ahead and try and customize the script here. So one thing you do want to make sure to do is, because he did spend time to do it, make sure to read the little license here. It does actually have it, so do make sure to give him the copyright and the credit for this, because he spent the time. Give him the credit for it. Very simple, doesn't hurt your site at all, of course. So you just want to do that. So on this site here, you can see you've got an example of there's some snow falling down here. You can even actually use the mouse to change the direction of where the snow is falling. So even just moving it across, so that's kind of something fun to do. You can see there's a bunch of lights actually going across the top here. One little fun thing actually I noticed with the lights, which is kind of interesting, is if you mouse over them, they actually explode, which Me being a guy, of course, I guess, hey, I love explosions. What can I say? So you go through and you can see bang, bang, bang. They're exploding as I go across them. Kind of neat and good to go. And you can see it kind of replaces them. Very smooth, very nice animation. So it's something easy to do. So on this site, if you're going to be following along with us, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure to get an actual copy to files. So if you go down here, you can see he's got a download section and it's got a download link. Now, because he's got the two scripts here, he's actually combined them together. So you just want to go ahead and click on the download button and then either open or save it wherever you're going to do. We've actually already downloaded a copy, but normally you just click on it, download it to wherever you want. So we've already got this set up in our downloads folder, as you can see here. Now, what you need to do is you need to make sure you unzip it. If you don't have a zip program, there's numerous ones out there. But you just want to quickly unzip it, and then you're going to have this folder in this case if you're following along with the exact same example of us. So you can open up this folder and you're going to see a whole bunch of files. Now the files it has in the default section here are actually for the snowstorm. So if you're looking to set up the snowstorm, you want to go through here. Now one big advantage here is he actually has set up demos and index pages for you. So you can actually just click on the index page here and it's going to come up and you can see this is his page. He's got it all set up. So that's really nice, really easy to use. So you can just check that out at any time you want and you can kind of play around with that as well. So very simple, very easy. Now one thing you may want to see is, okay, he's got the default page there, but I don't necessarily say like something in it. You can always go in and change everything. He's got it here. He's got a basic example and a more customized version. So you can play around with those and kind of see what it is. For those of you who enjoy coding, you may want to play with it and try and improve it. I mean, no harm as well. If you want to go into the lights section, there's an actual lights folder, which we've already gone into here. And this is where you're actually going to see the sections for the lights. So if you go to the actual index page here, you're just going to see it come up with the loading. And there you go. It just got the Christmas lights itself. So if you're just starting off here and you don't actually have a website page, you probably want to go from the demo as an example and you want to start making changes to that. Now the first thing you want to do is probably say, okay, I like the page, but I don't like the background. Not a problem. You can actually very easily get rid of the background and leave the blank page the way it is and then start playing with it. All you need to do is go into this one file here. I'm actually just going to go to this. Now as you can see here, it's kind of cut off from the type, but this is actually a cascading style sheet or a CSS document, as you can see here by the full name. Now what this is this actually controls the way certain elements on the page will work. So we want to go ahead and we're going to open that up. You can open it up with whatever program you want. We're actually going to go into WordPad again here, just because very simple, very easy to use, and pretty much every computer is going to have it, one copy or another. So what you want to do here is at the top, you can see where it says body, and it's got background here. So this is where the actual image goes. You can actually easily remove that black background just by cutting out that part there, or if you wanted, you can even remove it. So it's got another background image there. But if you remove that, it's going to essentially have all the functionality still, but just have a blank white screen, and you can go ahead and customize from there. Not very difficult, very simple to do. You can just save it. Now what you want to do is you want to take a look at this index file, because this has everything in it already. So as you can see here, here's the index file. It's very short, very simple, just a single page. And for those of you who are not that comfortable or familiar with using website content, this may seem a little Greek to you. It may just be a bunch of random gibberish on the page. Not to worry, it's actually very simple to kind of pick out what you need and easily add that wherever you want on your page. Now for this one here, there's actually two major sections which we're going to cover and do. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to look for always some kind of head tag. Now the head is basically the start of several different things. You're going to have the title in here, and you're going to have actually all the inclusions. Inclusions are basically the other files that it's going to be loading into your page. You're not going to see them. They're just loaded in the background. For the most part, you don't even need to worry about them, and you can pretty much ignore them. But what you want to do here is you want to grab everything below the title in this case. So all the way from this link section here, all the way down to this last bit here before this script tag ends. Actually, we're going to include this one here because it is being used. So everything basically head to head, and have everything in there. The only thing again is we're leaving out the title just because we have a title already on our page that we're going to be adding this to. But if you're setting up a page for the new time, you may just be editing this directly, and you can just start by changing the title so that your web page title shows instead. So this is the first section of the code. Now this you're literally not going to want to touch really at all. You're just going to want to copy and paste into your actual page. The second section here is this other part. These all customize and set up a bit here. Now for this first part here where it says div and it's got a loading heading for the ID, this is basically the loading screen you saw when we initially went to the site, to the actual demo page where it says redirecting, it's loading, and just waiting for that to render properly. So you can change the message if you want, of course, do anything you want. There's no problem with that. We've actually chosen to omit that because it's not actually really necessary. It's just a little message letting someone know that your page isn't frozen and there's actually more content to go. But this section here is actually what we need, where it says div ID lights and lights go here. It's literally telling you this is exactly where it is. So what you can do is you can actually just copy that section there, and that's all you need for the second part. So again, just to quickly cover it before we actually go through and show you how to do it, you want to take everything from basically this link heading here all the way down to script, so everything within the head except for the title, and we want to go to this also div here, and we want to grab that as well. So those are the two sections here. Now what we've done here is we have already gone ahead and added this to a page. So we're just going to quickly go back to our page here and show you kind of what we did. So what we did was we basically separated this out from the rest of our code. Now for those of you who have watched our previous website design, this actual page we're editing is actually our business page. So we're just going to quickly show you what it looks like. Again, for those of you who watched our video, this is the basic business site and page we set up. Very simple, very easy to do. So what we've done here is we've taken this page and we've actually gone to edit it at the source code level. So you want to make sure that you actually go to the page and again, open it up in Notepad or whatever website editor program you're using. Again, we're using Notepad just to show you that it can be done with any real program at all. So what you want to do is you want to take a look through what you've got already in the site. In this case here, we actually, again, we looked for the head tag. That's what you always want to look for, as that signifies that that's where you need to put the scripting in. So you want to look for the head tag. Again, there's the title there. We've already got our title in, which is why we didn't copy the other one. We've also got some meta information as well. Now this you can actually, this isn't required for a site. It does help, as we did explain in our video where we set this page up. The section for keywords and descriptions actually helps you set up your SEO, so your search engine optimization. So you want to make sure you leave that in there. Typically it's best to leave the meta content above whatever you're doing for scripting wise, but again, you can put it in whatever order you want. So what we've done here is we've actually just gone right below our bottom meta tag, and within our head, see, you can see the bottom head tag there. We've actually just gone and done right above that and just added literally the script, copied and pasted it over. Now there is one thing just kind of to outline here, which you may need to change depending on how you set this up, is when you're uploading this to the server. We're actually going to show you this here just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, because this is maybe the first real change you may be making. When you go ahead and upload this to the server, you're first of all going to need to go into FileZilla, and you're going to need to connect up to your servers. You can see we've already done that here. You're going to see all your files on your computer, and in this case here we can see there's our folder, and there's actually the file we're working with right now. So you want to make sure you go ahead and actually go into here, go into the lights, or just the previous one if you're doing the snowstorm. But because we're mostly focusing on the lights here, because in our opinion it's a little more the neater one, especially with the fun explosions. And so what we've done here is we've gone into the actual folder. So you want to go ahead and you want to highlight all of these. Make sure you just go through all of them, and you can just right click and upload these straight in here. So you just again right click upload. We've actually uploaded these already. Make sure again you do upload it, for those of you with us, to your public_HTML. So make sure you do go to the right folder to get it to where it needs to go to. So once the files are on here, you've got everything, your scripts, your images, everything. That's fine. If you choose to upload this to another folder, like for instance, we've actually done this as well. I'm just going to spread this out so you can see it. As you can see here, we've got a default folder here, which is the one we actually uploaded, just the general one before. So we're going to go back here and you can see this is, we just copied it across. Now, if you do go through and you do copy a script across, you do need to make sure to reflect that in your page. So if your index page is in the same place with the folder, that's not a problem. You can just leave it there. If you're changing it so the index is also in the public_HTML folder, so the root folder, then you need to make sure it actually goes through in the script. Now, where you're going to be changing is this href section here. This is actually the source of where the page goes. So you can see here, this is the first one. So christmaslights.css, this is just basically showing the layout and everything here. Now, if you were going to put this in another folder, you need to go put a slash, type in a folder name. In this case, you Google lights and then slash. That's going to show that, hey, our folder is called lights. You need to make sure to put it in there. You could also do the snowstorm folder. You could do really anything at all there. So do make sure that you do accurately reflect where it is to go. If you're not sure, you're not comfortable with working with this, don't worry, just dump everything, all the lights folder into the public_HTML directory and just save yourself a whole bunch of trouble. Just dump it right in there, good to go. It's very, very simple to set up and do. So once you've got that in there, again, we did say there was one more section of code you need to copy, which is this section here at the bottom, which is the div lights and right to the end of the div tag. So basically just this little section here. And then what we did here was we actually went all the way down to the bottom of our page. So we didn't want to change anything or kind of interject it into the middle because it's a script. It's actually not needed. You can really put it anywhere on the page and it will work the same. That's, of course, most of the time. Some scripts have very special exceptions, but I mean, if you're getting into that, they'll have install instructions. But for the most part, scripts, you can put them anywhere. Now, we've actually just added this right to the bottom. So you're actually, for easier use, if you want to do it like we did, was we just look for the body end tag here, so /body. That signifies that's the end of your page. So you want to go ahead and just add this right in above that. We've, again, added lots of extra space. You can see that we just casually updated that here. Once you've done that, you want to make sure to save your file, and then you want to make sure to go into FileZilla and actually upload this to the server. We've actually already gone ahead and uploaded that. So as you can see here, we're going to go back to our page. So you can see this is the basic business page we had set up. We haven't made any changes to this at all. And all we did was we made changes to a second file. We uploaded that. We actually called that one index2. So it's actually the same name for the most part, just 2. The only reason we did that was just to show you the difference between the two, so they're both active at the same time. In your case, you probably just want to call it index file to make sure that it loads right away, or keep it under the same name of the file you had before. So now what we can see here is we can see we've got the script showing up, and we've got it on our page. We've got this showing as index 2 again because we titled it that just to show you the difference. You do again want to make sure the name is the same as what it was originally. And you can see here as you go over, it explodes all the little lights, they blow up, bang, they're all gone. As you can see, a little bit addicting and fun to just go through and wipe them all out, I must say. But as you can see here, it's a quick and simple way to get a script and show your website a little more festive, good to go. And you can always say, oh, well, my lights are gone, what do I do now? You just simply press F5 and load the page. You can see it's going to go ahead and try and get the plugin going if you don't have it. But as you can see, all the lights are gone again. So you can keep reloading it, keep exploding them. I mean, a little bit of fun. It adds a little nice touch to your site, so you can easily do that. You can get the snowstorm going again. Again, it will have the snow going across. So that's there. One thing we wanted to show you here, just because we love our surface, is we're going to show you kind of what it looks like on the surface to prove to you that, again, as we said before, JavaScript can kind of work on anything, any kind of device, and you can see that it still restores the same functionality. So we're just going to quickly unplug this, and we're going to do a nice little close-up for you guys. So we're going to get rid of that. As you can see here, we've already got the exact same page loaded up. It's exactly as you saw on our computer. And you can see all the lights are there. Now this is kind of a little more fun because your Surface has a touchpad, so you can touch on the lights and individually blow them up. So maybe a little more fun, maybe a little more personal than a mouse, but again, it's a nice little touch, and you can do the same sort of thing from a phone as well. So I mean, we're not showing you on the phone just because it's a really tiny screen, and of course you don't want to go with that because it's harder to see. But as you can see here, fun to just get rid of the lights as you want. And again, it adds a little nice customization, a little nice festivity to your site. Very simple, very easy to do. You can use the same principles we've shown you here with any kind of site, any kind of script. If you're doing any kind of scripting, getting this set up here, I mean, you can always contact us and we can try and help you out with it. If it's a problem, say with the actual script itself, we may not be the best one to go for. So it may be a little more difficult because we didn't write it, so you probably want to talk to the person who made the script at that point. But if it's just kind of basic setting it up and adding it to a page, whether you're using our website creator tool, whether you're using your own kind of page and you're just not uploading it or it doesn't seem to be working, we can take a look, we can help you out. So definitely contact our support, we'll help you out with that. But otherwise, very simple, very easy to use. You can do it on our basic hosting plan, which is free with any domain registered with us. And the domain cost, of course, is depending on the domain, but most of the default decent ones are just .com, .net, .org like that, for instance. $25 gets you the site. You can set up this easy script. Quick and easy, simple, easy to do. We're going to be showing you WordPress a little later on. So I mean, you can do the same thing with active plugins, maybe a little more difficult setup, maybe a little easier, depending on kind of your how comfortable you are with it, your familiarity with all of it. So not a problem again, but we're going to be showing you how to do that. But quick, simple, fun setup, and gets it a little more festive. So we're going to be coming back to you with more videos, but for the most part, here's a quick and easy way to make your site festive. Thanks for contacting Doteasy, and you have yourself a wonderful day, and watch our videos again. And if you have any comments, you want to see something else, maybe you've got something you think would be a great idea for a site, but you're really not sure how to go about it, leave us a comment, Twitter, Facebook, even below the YouTube comments, and we'll see what we can do for you.